Hi, this is Brenda Salzano, and we're going to be sewing up another DIY cut and sew, which is a pattern on one fat quarter that I design and sell on Spoonflower. This one here is Life Begins at the Cabin. What I'm showing you is already cut out from one fat quarter, the pieces. So we have a front and a back, we have the straps, and we have some written basic instructions in a little diagram of what it will look like. You can find these more instructions and photographs on my blog, and there's a link in my Spoonflower header to my blog and to my YouTube page and also a link page, I believe. Anyway, we're going to begin by just following these directions, and I will not show you the whole process. I'm just going to go at this just the bits and pieces so that you get the idea, but I don't show me sewing it up one by one. That just takes a lot of time. Anyway, I've already got it cut out, and that was part of the instructions. And then it says to hem the top of both main bodies, and that means that right here at the top you're going to hem this. And just do a real small hem, and you can do two if you want to finish it off nicely and hem it under again. So you turn it twice and top stitch. You could also use some of your own material and do a lining if you wanted, and you could use these as templates to do the lining. These little parts here where it says leave open for a box pleat, I call it a box pleat, and I know that's not the original term, and it's just what I came up with to make this like a wider at the bottom so it's like a box and you can get more things in the bag. These are quick and easy. They make a great gift, or put your gift in these little bags and then give your present to whomever. So this is the beginning, and we'll go ahead now with me doing the hems on the top. And let's see, what else was there? And then you sew the right sides together, starting at the bottom first. So once I get this hemmed at the top, then I can right sides together, and I can do the bottom, and that's going to be not this part here that says leave open, but this part right here. So we'll be hemming the top part, and then we can sew this bottom. I'm thinking about trying something different with this one, and instead of cutting out both sides, instead of cutting out this line, see it's still together right there, I might be able to just go ahead and sew just the one side and maybe save time. And then I'd still have to cut out these little boxes here and leave those open, and I'll show you how to do those later. Be right back. Okay, so I am going to try that with out cutting both sides open. So I've sewed up just the bottom panel, and since I'm not sewing the sides yet, you'll see that this side was not cut out, so there's no sewing. I'm just going to see how this would work out. I did cut out the empty spots. Remember I showed you those two. Do not sew, leave open. So I cut those two out. That's for the box fold. And I'm deciding, instead of sewing up this side, I believe I'm going to leave this open and do the straps, because I want it easier to put those straps in at the top, and there'll be one on the back and one on the front, and you got two entryways or two areas where you sew them down. Of course, it comes with the two straps, and I'm going to go ahead and hem those. And again, too, another thing is if you don't want them real tiny, you want to leave them bigger, you can put some other fabric as a backing, turn them inside out, or you could just hem the top and the bottom and leave it the way it is. It's up to you on what you're going to do with these, whether you're going to sell them or you're giving them away as gifts or whatever. So I'm just going to hem these, and then I will show you how I attach them. But both of them will be hemmed, and then we'll continue on with putting them on here. Usually I try to space them from so much from each side, and I have to take into consideration, the hem on this one side over here, and also doing the box pleats afterwards. But we're getting there, and it's really fast and easy. So far, it seems to be working, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out here pretty soon. We're back now with my straps done. This one has the wording on it. We want to make sure that it's going to look correctly, that this part isn't twisted in some way. And you want to measure exactly how far you want from the side. Like I know that I'm going to have a seam allowance of about this much. So I just position both sides the same. I just measured in an inch is what I did on each side here. And then I just counted how many lines down that I wanted from the top. And now I'm going to, the reason I put it on the outside instead of the inside is I kind of like the looks of the straps when they're on the outside, and then do a cross stitch as well as a square stitch, and that stitches it on really firmly. So I'm going to do that part next, and that's where we're at right now. And as you can see, we're real close to being done, so these are fast and easy. Will make a great gift at a craft show. You could sell them. And I have a lot of different designs now, so we'll just get to this last part and get this all done for you. Next step. Now we have the straps on. There's the straps are on. You can see I did the cross in the center and stitch clear around on all four of them. We have the open holes in both sides, and we have one side that's yet to do. So what I'll do is I'm going to flip this inside out, and I'll sew up this last seam on the side. And sew up this next, and then I'll show you how to do these little corners. Okay, let's do these little corners. Now we have the two corners left. You can see that here. You see that it's open. Looks like this. Both sides of the bottom. This is the bottom. Everything else is all sewed up. So we take this, and you're not going to sew like that. That wouldn't work out at all. You're going to take and put your finger in there and pull them out. Pull it out. And then these two seams, this seam and the opposite seam, you're going to line those up. Just put those together so that they line up perfectly like that. You can see that the two seams. I usually do like one flap, I'll turn it this way, and then this other flap, I'll turn it this way, so there's less bulk there. And now I'm just going to sew across these. And sometimes you'll see a little bit of a gap. You can see like a little bit of the dark right there. I don't worry about those. You just go straight across, making sure that both pieces of fabric are being sewn between a straight line across there. You just kind of have to keep poking that out. But I'm going to go straight across. You can even get a little ruler and draw it if you want to, making sure that it catches both sides of the fabric. And that way you don't worry about these little extras that stick out. As long as it's a nice straight line across there. I also sometimes, especially on a bag like this, you may want to do it twice to make it just a little more sturdy. But let me do that and I'll show you. I'll just do this one and then show you how that looks. Threads off. I'm also going to trim any excess, being careful not to get too close to the hem line, the stitching line. Just trim that off nicely. Throw that away. This we'll just show you that side of the box now. You can see how it already looks like a box. So that when you have this bag turned out, now you can see mentally, you can see how much wider it is at the bottom. You can see that. This little spot here, giving it more depth across here to put things in. So it's not just an envelope, it's a bag. It's very easy to do, and it gives you lots of extra room. Now see, we haven't done that one yet, but I'm going to do that one next, and then we'll finish off. Okay, it's all finished. I forgot to mention that, remember that one side that we didn't have to sew together. We just left it connected. Normally when I made these before, I've always just cut this out, but it does save a lot of time. I mean, a little bit of time, because I just left this here, and that little black line that you see through, that's your center line. So when I went to put the two sides together, like I was showing you just previously, just make sure that it lines up with the other side seam. So those two seam, it would be this seam and then the fake seam. But that's how you get the box. You can see now how that looks really nice now. It's like a square. These bags will, when they got stuff in it, they'll sit nice. They'll flop over. Let me show you another way here. There, I think you can see that. Anyway, that's how that turned out. It's got the moose on there and the little cabin, fish. Great for a man or a woman that likes to go out camping, and maybe they have a little cabin in the woods. Just put your favorite thing in there. With the double straps, it really holds a lot. You could do just a single strap from side to side if you wanted, and use one of these straps like for a little topping, like if you wanted a little top area with that wording on one side. You probably could do that. You could also add pockets inside of this before you sew it up. You would put a pocket on the inside. Just remember to do it on the wrong side of the fabric. Make you a couple pockets in there. But there it is, quick and easy. Like I said, this little fat quarter, it has instructions on there, and you just buy one fat quarter for one project. If you want 4 projects, buy it by the yard. And Spoonflower has great sales, sometimes 50% off of fat quarters. So you could buy some at that time, save them in. Spoonflower also has this area where you can save things and make a little, you make a list of your favorite things. And then when the sales come on, you go in there and start picking out your things that you want to buy and save yourself some money. I hope you have fun doing this, and I really appreciate your thumbs up. I don't have a whole lot because I just don't post all the time. I'm 74 years old now, and I love doing crafts and things, but I am slowing down, not quite as fast as I used to be. I still enjoy doing this and making new ones. I just made some new embroidery ones. I'll show you a quick picture of those if I can get this turned around just a moment. This is my embroidery one. You can just barely see it. It's a wall hanging, but it's also a fold-up travel case, so that folds from the bottom up, and this little top area, I put a Velcro here, folds down over, and each one is a pocket. So each one of these. If you like to do embroidery, I've got this one available where you do your own embroidery. I have some with trees on them, embroidery, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm even teaching myself how to do more stitches. I only knew some basic ones, so I bought these little kits, and then you fill in and do it over and over to different stitches. That was fun. It's off of Amazon. I just have this one to finish now. And I learned from YouTube like everybody else. This is my little sewing center. It's also my bedroom, my office. Thanks again for watching. you have a great day. Have fun when you're doing your sewing and whatever else you're crafting or building, your creativity. Talk to you later.